5 ways that you can help reefs. Well done, you eco-warriors. You are passionate about saving this fragile world that the big wigs and politicians don't seem to care about unless it lines their pockets. Coral reef is known as the rainforest of the sea in that they only cover a minute area of our oceans, but they are teeming with life. They're also pretty handy to have around, absorbing around 1/3 of our planet's CO2 and producing around half of the oxygen on the Earth. Coral is an animal that also farms tiny algae in a sort of symbiotic relationship. Now, obviously, the best thing you can do to help coral is to like and share this video so that everybody sees it and gets educated. But there are a few other fairly important things to consider, such as it may look like a big rock, but a small knock with your fins can undo decades of growth. Bear in mind that coral grows at around 2 centimeters a year. That's slower than your fingernails do. Even stirring up debris can cause havoc to coral. Sediment can bury coral and block sunlight, starving the coral and killing it forever. Even oils from your skin can disturb mucous membranes, leaving the coral open to attack. If you can't swim out of a gap or crevice without flailing your fins around wildly or touching something, then just don't swim into the place. While a single water bottle in the ocean may seem easy to pick up, that same plastic bottle will move around and get beaten up over time and be broken up into smaller and smaller pieces until they become microplastics that make their way into smaller crevices and block them. Chemicals in some plastics can leach out into water, killing small animals, where pH and water composition are pretty important. Corals have been observed interacting with microplastics either in a cleaning manner by trying to get rid of it or a feeding manner, but in around 80% of studied species, negative effects of health were reported when exposed to microplastics. Coral reefs tend to be found in sunny places. It's how they stay warm and photosynthesize. The downside to this is that humans burn when exposed to intense sunlight. So what do we guys do? We wear sunscreens to protect ourselves. Sunscreen either blocks or absorbs UV light, but these minerals and chemicals in sunscreen on your skin wash off. That's why you need to reapply them after a swim. Sure, they get diluted a lot, but an estimated 1,400 tons of sunscreen is believed to be deposited in oceans every single year. Those minerals catalyze the production of hydrogen peroxide, bleach. One key ingredient of sunblock is oxybenzone. Toxic to corals, algae, sea urchins, fish, and even mammals, a single drop of oxybenzone in 4 million gallons of water is enough to endanger organisms, and the smaller they are, the worse it is for them. Either ditch the sunscreen for a rash vest, that's why they have UPF ratings, or switch to a friendlier reef-safe sunscreen like zinc oxide or titanium oxide. Also try avoiding the following chemicals: oxybenzone, methylparaben, ethylparaben, butylparaben, benzyl-paraben, phenoxyethanol, octinoxate, octicrylene, 4-methylbenzylidene camphor, and triclosan. That'll do. Seems simple, but buying coral in jewelry and other decorations can encourage people to dive down and break off parts of the reef for commercial gain. Some corals can be farmed for marine fish tanks that do no damage to the natural reefs out there, but be sure where any coral has come from before you buy it. The only reason we are not still beating rocks against the floor in a cave is education. The more we learn about a subject and teach others, the better our civilization will become. Educating the next generation is essential because they haven't been corrupted by politics, the economy, or anything else yet. Kids are information sponges, and if we can teach them that we need to work to live around coral reefs, then they will make a way for both humans and coral to thrive. If the next generation is sincerely taught to sacrifice their plastic straws for the benefit of the oceans, then that will be ingrained for the first time in an entire generation, so that when they grow up, they can do away with the archaic practices that we have grown up with and tolerated because we weren't taught that it was important. The current generation only seems to be interested in what they can squeeze out of the environment to enrich their own lives. We need to go back to a stage where we live in harmony, and that can only be done through education. Okie dokie, ocean warriors, what do you guys do to help save coral reefs? Have you been involved in any coral restoration projects? Do you help reduce water runoff? Or are you more like this prick who wrote their name onto this coral? Let's discuss coral reefs in the comments. Thanks for watching, and remember, don't stand on coral reef. Phenoxyethanol, I should have read these first. Octinoxate, octocrylene, 4-methylbenzylidene, camphor, and triclosan. We are an online dive store serving the UK and the world for all your diving equipment needs. So why not visit us at simplyscuba.com or click the box on your screen.